Is it all blocked out? Can you see around me? Do you see the pixelation? It always cracks me up when people ask that question about why do you blur things out? It really shows how clueless the general public is about how dangerous it is to be a YouTuber or upload your life to social media. It's very dangerous. Get death threats, threats against breaking into my house, stealing my stuff. Because I have a list of people who say put me on your backup list of if you have a cancellation or a schedule change. So I go through the list and I pick which one I want to do. This project that I'm heading to now is to install a water filtration system, a pretty serious water filtration system under the kitchen sink. I guess I think it's got a little thing that you put on the countertop or through the sink flange for your drinking water or cooking water, things like that. The strange thing is this same customer and kitchen is on my schedule for February, around February. So, I mean, a full kitchen gut, but they want this installed now and they don't want to wait until I actually install the regular sink and faucet and you know, cabinets and that. So I'm going to install it, uninstall it, and reinstall it. And it's like, okay, that's what you want. My rate for this, I have no idea what I'm in for. I know I'm going to be making parts runs. I'm going to be some time reading the directions. As you can tell, this is an old kitchen in need of a remodel. Check out this antique, what is this, J.C. Penney or something? No, it's a Kenmore microwave. I will be remodeling this entire kitchen. These all these cabinets are the built-in place type of cabinets. These are not individual boxes. So everything is going to get ripped out. New cabinets, new flooring, new countertop, new sink, new light fixtures, everything. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about all this. This is a pretty serious reverse osmosis water filter system. Is there water down here? There is water down here. I wonder where this water is coming from. There's a little bit up on this shelf here. It seems like it's running down this hose from somewhere. This thing here is your pressure reducer. So water comes out of this and then goes into the system. So this is how you tap into your water supply. As you can see down here, we have CPVC. Then we have what I believe is something threaded into that CPVC, a male-male adapter. Then there is this brass adapter, and then on top of this brass adapter is this old brass shutoff, and then another little fitting, and then finally our supply line. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gutting this place in February. So I'm gonna see what I can do here without having to redo the plumbing. You can see we have new ABS plumbing, which is pretty nice. I call them Studer vents. That's just the brand that made it popular. There you go. That right there. So this is not vented through the ceiling and the roof. Just to talk a little bit more about that vent, even though that vent doesn't really have anything to do with this reverse osmosis water filter, I know it's going to blow up in the comment section from, you know, the keyboard commando plumbers that, oh, you can't use those, you can't use those, you can't use those. I'm not using them. It's already here. Now, it is approved in this state to use these anywhere. I've seen them in $2-3 million new houses. I've seen them in every different type of remodel. I see them everywhere. So they are approved, they're legal to use here. So hopefully that settles your nerves a little bit. I've got all these filter cartridges screwed on just loosely. to figure out where all this is going to go. I think that's about it right there. Well, this tank here, well, it doesn't get fastened to anything. There's no, it just sits there. And I guess you put it wherever you want it. It does take up a good bit of room. I like to keep most everything to the right side so they still have some storage on the left side. What in the heck is that? There's a plug underneath the sink. Oh my. What is that blue one? Is that a ground? No, I don't think so. I think that's another power wire. That blue sneaking in next to that older Romex goes up and over and disappears behind the dishwasher. That'll be fun to pull that apart here in a few months and see what all that's about. Okay, we got a little bit of suction there. Here's what I've come up with. Shark bite. Perfect application for a shark bite. This goes on to the end of the 3/4 inch CPVC. Then out of here comes 1/2 inch PEX. Then on the end of the 1/2 inch PEX goes this male fitting right there. And then we have our 1/4 turn valve right there. And then that connects on to that supply line right there. Now it does give you quite a few options. I'm not going to use any of them. Right now I'm leaving the hoses all long until the final install. And the more of these press connect fittings you have, the higher chance you have of a future leak. So if you can go without using these, that's best. Now, one thing that makes this very easy is everything's color coded. The hoses are color coded, the little tabs are color coded. So these are little press connects. Take out this white one, it's even labeled to water inlet. So what you do is you just push that in, and once we get these all set up, we'll put little lock rings in so that these can't pop out. Down here, this is the water inlet, the pressure regulated water inlet, and it's not exactly a perfect cut there, so I'm going to use my cutters and put a nice 90-degree cut on that. These little things, you don't go in far enough, is it? There we go. You got to push them in pretty deep. Okay, so white is on. So this collar here goes around this drain pipe, and I have to drill a hole in this drain pipe. Collar goes on, and the hose goes in. So I'll show you how that works. That's the only thing really left to mess with. So for ease of installation and access, I'm going to put my hose coming out the middle right here. So right here is some like a foam gasket with adhesive on it and a hole in the middle. That goes over the hole that is drilled. So now I'm going to put this hose in this collar, stick it out of the hole there that far. So this will go just inside this drain, and I'm actually going to put this locking ring on here. They've got these little locking rings. I'll give you a close-up of what these things are here, so that it can't move. Okay, the first one is supposed to be PPP. This is CTO. That's the third one. PPP. That's it, just a press fit. Yes. GAC filter, GAC. So here is the little faucet. I have to drill a hole this big right there in the cast iron. Once this goes through, there's a couple different options. Say you already had like a big hole like that sink sprayer, you could use this cover. This peels off and it's chrome. But I'm gonna go with just drilling a small hole, put that through, and then this with this rubber goes up like that. I don't want to use a center punch because this is cast iron and that could just crack the whole dang thing. And so I'm just gonna go with it. Start with a medium-sized drill bit. This is probably a little over a quarter, and just see what happens. I'll probably need some special carbide drill bit. Yeah, it is not even going through the glaze. Alright, what do I do now? All right. That's actually not that bad. Not bad. Straighten that. So here is, you can see that the core of that hole that I drilled through the sink. I think maybe if I had gotten through this tough glazing, that a decent quality drill bit would have gotten through the actual cast iron, but this is what I came up with and it worked. Okay, it looks a little messy, but like I said earlier, this is all going to get disassembled in 3 months. So I wanted to leave things long. I may tuck these things up a little bit better. But for right now, this is what it's going to be doing. It says to run it for 30 minutes before you use the tank. Then you have to empty this tank twice before you drink it. But they said just leave this off. And this is a water storage tank. I don't really know why you need it. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is turn this on. And start looking for leaks. Yeah, these instructions, this does come from overseas, China, and well, the tank, they called that a storage tank, and the directions made it out like you don't even need it. But it's actually like an expansion pressure tank that is absolutely necessary for this thing to work correctly. A few other things that I want to make you aware of is that black tube that goes to the drain line. So this black tube there goes right into the drain. Well, it will constantly drain as this tank, what is that, a 2-gallon tank, 2.5-gallon tank, is filling up. So once I opened up this valve here and this started filling up, this tube just constantly ran with water. And I'm like, what the heck, is that supposed to happen? Well, the directions don't say anything about the discharge or waste water line constantly running while your pressure tank is filling up. But it works good, and once I had to pretty much teach myself how it's supposed to work, I understood that everything went together correctly. Did take up a little bit of space in here. They're still able to put, their stuff in there. All this will get removed and replaced into a different sink base, and that's why I left everything long and just coiled up there, because this is not how it's permanently going to go in. It may go on the back wall, who knows. But so the most important thing is how does this water taste? So let's give it a shot. fills up. Great flow once you have that expansion tank working. Oh, some more of that. So do any of you have these reverse osmosis water systems in your house? It's pretty tasty. Well, I guess that's it for this video. Leave your questions below. I could probably answer them now that I've done the research and figured out how this thing is supposed to work. The Hickens reverse osmosis water filter. There's 5 filters. I thought there was only 4, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filters. And you're gonna have some darn clean drinking water. Don't want that fluoride that is for, is it mind control? Goodbye.